morning, everyone. Respected panelists, participants from different parts of India and Assam, more particularly from Assam and the neighboring states of Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh. On behalf of Research Council, North Lakhimpur College, I am Dr. Susengfa Gogoi. Welcome you all to this webinar on a very important topic, that is awareness program on online e-resources. We are very glad that this webinar has been organized in association with Assam College Librarians Association's ICT cell. So to start with the webinar, I would like to request our principal, North Lakhimpur College Autonomous, Biman Chandra Setia sir, to kindly deliver his welcome speech and also the inaugural speech. So here it is, Dr. Biman Chandra Setia giving the welcome address.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Biman Chandra Setia, Principal and Chairman of Research Council, North Lakhimpur College Autonomous. Welcome you all to this webinar on awareness program on online e-resources, which is organized by our institution in association with Assam College Librarian Association. I think in this pandemic situation, the Assam College Library Association and the North Lakhimpur College Research Council have taken a very needful steps, and I feel that this webinar will benefit to all our participants and will be milestone to the building of a new education ecology. That means we have to shift our education system to offline to online. In present situation, we need change in our reading habit, and we have to take supports of online e-resources like SWAYAM, Digital Library, Open Access e-resources, etc. That is why I feel that this type of steps may encourage our teachers and as a whole persons related with the education system, and they can encourage our students to keep up this type of steps for their reading attitude. So once again, on behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome the participants, especially President and Secretary of ECLA and panelists and this to this webinar. Let us make this webinar a success. Thanking you so much.
Susengfa, where are you? Susengfa, please unmute your mic.
I thank our principal, Dr. Biman Chandra Setia sir, for delivering his welcome speech in front of the resource persons. Now, I would like to request Dr. Prashanto Kumar Dekha, General Secretary of ECLA and respected librarian of KC Das Commerce College, to kindly deliver his welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Brenda, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Gogoi. Respected Principal Sir, North Lakhimpur College, Dr. Susengfa Gogoi, Member Secretary Research Council, North Lakhimpur College, faculty members in this college, Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, HOD Librarian in charge, HOD Library Information Science and Librarian in Charge, KKH Library, Guwahati University. Dr. Birendra Pal, ICT Convener of ICT Cell CLA. Dr. Nikhil Hazarika, Librarian, Madhav University, friends, participants. Welcome to this webinar. It is my privilege to inform you that in this crisis situation where the entire country is under lockdown due to pandemic COVID-19, it is noticed that all academic institutions are closed across the country. The society is the great loss in the entire area like economy, education, lifestyle, food, service, etc. It is our duty to keep update the academic society through our limited efforts with limit manifestation. Everywhere online classes, webinar, etc. are being organized in minimize our academic loss by various schools, colleges, universities, public church, coaching center, organizational association, etc., which are helping us to keep ourselves busy update during lockdown period. In view, uh, in view of all this, the Assam College Library Association (ACLA) has taken a series of initiatives for capacity building of college librarians as well as the academic fraternity through this online initiative. SLA has formed the ICT cell of its own, which is presently emphasizing to help the learners through its ICT initiative during this pandemic situation. The ICT cell hosts different educational videos on its official YouTube channel or we are organizing also some academic program also and videos also in our YouTube channels also, which may help the learners to exploring different online resources during this COVID-19 situation. The SLA has decided to under ICT cell of the association awareness program is being conducted in the different colleges of Assam. All the technology leads are handled by the ICT cell of association. The ICT cell of CLA is committed to provide proper training on online resource to the teachers and college and institution also. So all of you know the e-resource in electronic resources are document in digital format, accessible electronic format, any part of blog, electronic journal, electronic books, online database in digital format of example of e-resource. It can be read in on offline as well as online also. So resource or electronic resource are document in digital format, accessible in electronic form, the any part of blog. And so in this series today, we have taken up the second institute, that is North Lakhimpur College, to conduct a webinar of awareness program on online e-resource from today, which is organized by Research Council, College, Lakhimpur College, Autonomous, and SCLA. And happy to inform that today we have also another webinar to associate with Kolhapur College. Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, HOD LIS, Library Science Department and Librarian, KK Hendrik University, and Dr. Birendra Pal, our convener, ICT cell convener, will be the resource person of today's webinar. The both of resource person will cover almost all important digital resources like Sudganga, ePathshala, Shyam, Analyst, Project Gutenberg, etc. Hope you all will be benefited from today's session. In future, this will not to be confined to any Assam, but will be open all college and institution of India also. At the end, I once again welcome all participants to this webinar, and I am sure all of you will be benefited from this. Thank you. Thank you, Virender.
Thank you, Dr. Prakhanda Kumar Dekka, sir, for enlightening us what has been a role played by ECLA in this pandemic situation and what can we do with these online e-resources. We have been quite enlightened by your speech. We again thank you for your warm speech and also for accepting our request for organizing a collaborative webinar on e-resources. Now I would like to introduce two of our resource persons for today's webinar. We have amongst us Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh. Sir is a head of the Department of Library and Information Science, Guwahati University. He has been known not only being as a head of the Department of Library and Information Science, Guwahati University, but also for his contribution for the development of library infrastructures and the library as a discipline in the state of Northeast in general, and also India, Northeast in India in general, and Northeast in more particularly. So we are very glad to have you amongst us, sir. We also have amongst us Dr. Birendra Pal, coordinator of ICT Cell, and he's also the librarian of Koliabor College. And we also very much glad that because of the initiatives taken by Birendra Pal, we have been able to organize this webinar in this platform of Zoom. So we welcome both of these resource person today in this webinar. And for the firstly, I would like to request Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh to kindly deliver his speech on online e-resources. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Susankha Gogoi. Are you? My voice is going there.
Yes, yes.
So, at first, I would like to just apologize to all of you that because of technical snag, etc., I could not join you on time. I was ready before 10 minutes, but because of the technical problem, it could not be connected. Anyway, now we are connected. So let me start without wasting the time. Honorable Principal of the college, Dr. Biman Chandra Chaitia, and Mr. Susankha Gogoi, and the ACLS Secretary, Dr. Prasanta Kumar Deka, then ICT Cell Convener, Dr. Birendra Pal, and all the participants who are here joining the seminar or webinar, whatever we call it. So today, I am going to, as per the information given to you, I am going to discuss on the e-resources. So let me first share this screen. So Birinder, are you getting my voice?
Yeah, I am getting your voice, sir. But your video is not coming, I think.
Video is not coming. Let me share it first.
Okay.
Your entire session, application window, Chrome, TV, share I have given. Okay, now it is coming. Now it is coming.
Video. Susankha, video is coming?
No.
Coming. Not the problem. I have shared the screen.
No, just you share your screen.
Now,
Yes, your screen is there now.
Start my video.
Yeah, your video is coming
Yes,
now. Just your PPT is coming, sir. Yes.
Yeah, now my full screen. Now it is going there?
Yes, you continue, sir, now. It's okay.
Yeah. So again, sorry for the late. So quickly, let me start. Today's topic is awareness program on online resources in lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic. And as it is very important for us during the last 2-3 months, what we are doing, what we are not doing, what is known to us. So everybody is touched or in touch with your academic activities also. Many places we have seen that many people are always in touch with the social media or the online resources like that, and many people are enjoying their lockdown period also. Whatever the thing, my first point here is that time and tide wait for none. So time has come. The COVID-19 lockdown has taught us how to cope with the situation, and we must not waste our time. Time is precious. That is why time and tide wait for none, and time is changing very fast. As you are all familiar with this, how this 2.5 months or 3 months is going to over, you cannot even imagine or cannot think. But everybody was in their house and doing their activities. So today we are living in the rapidly transforming world. The world is transforming. We have seen this disease has come from the China and how it has spread throughout the world and how many people are affected. It is known to everybody. So there is a sea change in the inverse of knowledge. So from here also we are getting different types of knowledge how to cope with this pandemic disease like that. So in that case, library is also not untouched. I appreciate the activities of the ACLA that they have taken the initiative to awareness all the academic fraternity, maybe students, maybe teachers, maybe other professionals like that, so that they can this will be with the society. Now here, this particular point, various revolutions are the examples of social and scientific development. So you all know that different types of revolution has taken place, from green revolution to white revolution and something like industrial revolution like that. So in the industrial revolution, as it is directly related to our issues in today's context, the first, as you all know, that first industrial revolution in 1700, that steam engine was invented, and the second was in 1800 that is steam, electricity, then 1900, then computing, etc. Then today we are seeing that artificial intelligence and 5G technology, 4G technology we are in. So we are having, but we are going towards the 5G technology. Like this, lots of changes are being taken place in different times. So here, this picture, this upper life cycle means it is for all, maybe student, maybe teachers, maybe any professionals of any subject natures. So first thing in the childhood or in the beginning of our life, we are learning, then we are working, then we are retiring. So this is the first phase. Then second phase, again, we are going back and we are unlearning, because whatever you learned in the school that is obsolete nowadays, or college that is obsolete nowadays, when you are working, you have to learn in a new way. And before retirement, again, or at the time of retirement, when you are going to produce yourself or going to take part in debate or anything, you have to unlearn and again relearn the things. That is the main purpose of this. I will not go to depth because time is not there. So quickly I'm responding to the slides. And in today's pandemic epidemic era, in the lockdown period, our job is completely changed. What is our new job? Earlier, whatever the job we are doing, somebody is teacher, somebody is student, somebody is professor, somebody is businessman. Everybody has their own job. So they are doing the traditional jobs. Now the new responsibility has come. The new responsibility means we are all compelled to use the technology, and ICT has given us many things. So those who were earlier using it was fine. Those who are not using or were not using, for them also this new responsibility has come, and this has compelled us to think that what should be our new title of the job. So in this era, traditional plus this ICT application, then for every person you can define your new job titles in this area. And coming back to the main topic, that is e-resources. So it is simple and common. All of you are using from your very long period of time that electronic e-resources. When you talk about the e-resources, it's referred to anything in the digital format can be termed as the e-resources. For that, electronic publishing are the example, electronic serials or journals or periodicals or books or any documents in the digital format are the e-resources. Okay, then next is but e-resources, generally we call it offline and online. Because see, yesterday we have seen in one of the social media forum, there was a huge discussion on what is offline e-resources, what is online e-resources. So people were giving, professionals were giving their views, different opinions and views related to the e-resources, offline and online. But simple funda here is that if we are reading through the web, we are getting the information through the web, we are on the online, and we are using it, that is online e-resources. When you are downloading it, when you are keeping in the CDs, DVDs, or in the pen drive, and later on you are using, that is offline e-resources. That is a simple thing. So there should not be any confusion among what is offline e-resource and what is online e-resources. Including online resource, live you are searching it when there is no connectivity. Suppose I am talking now, just few minutes back, I had no connectivity, so I was not online. But I was talking offline over telephone. So that type of things. Offline calling, online calling is e-resource in that mode, and offline is offline resource, you can say that. But what is the thing is that printed or digital, whatever, if you are using online, then it is online resource. If it is offline, then offline resource. So these electronic resources, it is defined as a group of information which is disseminated in the digital format or electronic format, which is produced, published, and distributed electronically. And time is one of the factor here. When you are using the e-resources, valuable time is saved. Earlier, take the example of traditional printed journal or printed document. When it is published or when it was published, it was reaching to the hand of the reader after its publication for many days, maybe 1 month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months if it is foreign publication, even 6 months together. But now the beauty of this electronic online resources is that the moment it is published, you can read it, and that too you can read many people at a time also. That is also one of the important features of this e-resources. So it is the digital version of print document which are accessed through the extensive hyperlinking, you can say that. And then, as I told, it can be read in both options. So open access initiative has made it easier to reach in the hands of the individual figure. So because of the open access initiative, we are getting it quickly, and it is the largest and quickest form of digital collection which are being disseminated among the users. So what are the sources of electronic information? Here, these 13 sources are given here. It is offline as well as online. When you talk about the CD-ROM, when you talk about the DVD-ROM, these are, when you talk about electronic databases, that the electronic journals, when you are reading in the offline mode, downloaded mode, it is offline. And when you are reading it on the web mode, online mode, then it is online resources. So it is ED, electronic thesis and dissertation, then digital libraries, NDL, and internet resources, electronic mail, OPEC, whatever many institutional repositories and social media are there for disseminating such type of things. Now quickly, let us move to the Sodh Sindhu, because the enlist program is going to be discussed by Virender Pal. So I'm highlighting just a little bit information related to Sodh Sindhu. So Sodh Sindhu is a merger of three consortium of the implement center, that is your enlist program, Indus consortium, and UGC for digital library consortium. These three are merged together, and then we are having this e-citizen programs. Here we are having 10,000 plus e-journals and 31,35,000 plus e-books, and we are having 22 resources from 4 databases. So these figures goes on changing. It depends upon the MU signed by the publishing houses along with the implement center. This figure may change, but it is increasing every time. It is not decreasing. And if I say that there is no area untouched, there is no field untouched. If you take any subject, what is available in this world, what is available in this info, you will get the information of all in the printed form, in the electronic form. Electronic form is more quicker and more elaborative and easily available. So all areas are covered under this. So some open access e-resources, quickly I will point out here, that through the e-resources, open online e-resources, need and attitude of users are totally changing. And students are motivated towards the maximum utilization of that. So e-students, they have already mentioned open source. I will talk few of them quickly. And see, one figure you will see, it is a huge figure. So you can count 2, 7, 4, 3, 7, 6, how million it is. Million lakh it is. You cannot imagine. So this every hour these type of documents are published throughout. Every need 50 documents are published throughout the world, and these figures are changing every now and then. And it is available in the open books. That link I will give you later on for this. So these are some of the links for the open sources. The Directory of Open Access Journal. It is the widely and world's biggest e-journal databases. And here open access journals are www.doaj.org, and this list is there. The PPT will be with you, so you can see it later on. Then next, this slide goes and continues. All sorts of these online resources are shown to you, and this is OpenJGate, then NISCare Online, then IGNOU e-resources, then Open Journal, System Open Implement Center. Then you can go to the this eGyan post of IGNOU. But there is a problem in IGNOU that all informations are not made available to the outsider, because there are some certain restrictions are there. If you are any person associated with IGNOU, etc., you can easily download it. Otherwise, earlier it was the facility of taking the help of a guest. Now, just in the morning I was looking at that facility I could not find. So it is very difficult to, but those which are available from the archives, those information you can download it easily. Then open knowledge resources are there. This I was citing the example where I was talking about that 27,437,664 books are available for free every minute, and 50 books are added to the database. So this is the website www.pdfdrive.it. It is active website. You go to this website and you will get lakhs of books are there, and some of books may be of your choice. So it is up to you how you are handling it, and you can search it by author and title, and search is very simple. These are some of the useful website online educational support. So for dealing with the different activities, etc., you can go through these sites. It will be with you later on. Then these are the ebook project Gutenberg, etc. The Virender Pal will take care of such type of things. Then Creative Commons, National Digital Library of India. Then other things will be taken over by the Dr. Virender Pal. So these are the free book sites: www.bookboom.com, ebook.org, and like that. There are various, and these things goes on changing. Some you will find all may not be active. Some may be error 404, or some error may be shown to you, but most of the slides are active. I have checked just a few days back also. Yesterday I could not check it. That's why I'm not in a position to tell you whether all will work or not. But many of them will work certainly. Then open online educational supports are there. These are the site for different universities, etc. You can go through it and you can have the information about this also. This is for answer and question type things. So these are the websites for question and answer. You can use it for your examination. Students can use it for examination purpose. Teacher can use it for other activities, giving assignments, etc., or knowing the answer about different questions related to their subjects, etc. These are some of the common sites, about.com, all the way, altavista.com, like that. outboard.com. So these are all useful sites, online sites, which are very, very important. And this is continued that Open Directory, Google, Mama, Web Crawler, etc. are there. Then if you want to search about the who's who, about the persons for the world, so this is any who in post space like this slide, you can see it quickly. And then this is related to news, ABC News, CBS News, CNN News, Fox News, like that. All the news, Indian news also you can see. You can go to the website and search it, and you can start using it. This is related to health. Any problems related to health, you can see it. Health A to Z, which doctor and medicine nets, etc. Nowadays, you know that medicines are also supplied to the online mode, etc. So these are all the activities and advancement in that area. Searching of sports headline, also it is available. And then e-thesis dissertation. Yes, just 1 minute I will take on this. That electronic thesis and dissertation. Nowadays, very active one is Sodh Ganga. The website is shown in front of you, sodhganga.influent.ac.in, or even you do not remember, that will go to www.influent.ac.in, you will get this. But before Sodh Ganga, it was Vidyanithi project. A project started at the University of Mysore under MRP, and that project was related basically with the thesis and dissertations, and it was a successful one. So later on, this was there was a demand from different corners, and then Sodh Ganga born. So Sodh Ganga is just only those who can sign MOU with the Improvement Center, their thesis. So Guwahati University thesis, 5,000 plus theses are available there. And throughout the world also more than 2,70,000 theses are up. Full thesis, text theses are there. So this is open thesis. I have already checked. You can check it. Open OATD. These two theses, it is open source, and you can see or you may get your thesis also in that website. You have uploaded somewhere, or you have thesis somewhere, full text that can be visible, that can be seen there. So you can try it. If you're not there, you can upload your thesis so that everybody can see that. This is open access journal system. So this is one of the list, and you can make your own online journal. Different initiatives are there. So as I told you that regarding Sodh Ganga, 270,000 plus theses are there, 7,600 these synopses are there, and Guwahati University 5,200 plus synopses are there. So these are some platforms through which you are conducting the classes, etc. Let us quickly talk on vision for year. Every obstacle is an opportunity. Whatever the obstacle has given the COVID-19. So we are just bypassing it, overpassing it, and you are busy with your different activities. This is one of the example that you are attending this webinar. Change is inevitable, and every change brings a new opportunity. So this is inevitable, and we are forced to accept what is coming our way. So the only message from this class is that you have to come out from the comfort zone, and we are all enjoying what we have. Success is on the other side of the comfort zone. So if you come out from the comfort zone, then you will find that success is at your hand. So to conclude, simply I can say, think globally, act locally. The Prime Minister of India is also talking on this, and we have to give stress on this. So use of e-resources is increasing day by day. And just from my side, this information to all the teachers, academic community, students, etc. So during this COVID period, it has taught us that what, why, and how person learning done. So what you need to learn, that is be identified. Why do you need to learn? That is also to be taken care of. How we are going to learn, that is up to you. And what is the time frame to learn it, that is within you. So this is the four most important things among all the peoples. So you have to be careful, and you have to be serious about this. So during this lockdown, it's the best investment you will ever make when you will apply all the what, why, and how, etc. So thank you. Just quickly, this thing is to be discussed for 1 hour or more than that, but within 20 minutes, I have tried to complete it. So if you have any query, we'll discuss later on, because we are already late. Let us complete the session first. So thank you, the organizer, and now afterwards it will be open for discussion. I am here online. So thank you very much. Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Professor. It has been
Hello, Brinder.
Hello.
Yeah. My presentation is over.
Thank you very much, sir, giving us insight on the development. E-resources. Many a time we got confused between online e-resources and offline e-resources. Your presentation has made it clear that whenever we talk about online e-resources, we know about very limited sites and limited web links. And from your presentation, we came to know about different other sources of information where we can get resources. So we thank you for that. And what is more interesting about your presentation is that not only giving information about what is happening with the online e-resources, you have also enlightened us what to do during this pandemic situation. And obviously, I hope that all our participants have got benefited from your presentation, and we would consider this obstacle as an opportunity, and we would move forward by taking all the benefits of e-resources that is available online. So I hope there must be some questions from the participants. We will take it later after the second presentation. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Birendra Pal. Birendra, are you online?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would like to request him to kindly present his presentation on other parts of online research.
Thank you, Dr. Susankha Gogoi. And it's a very great honor for me. I'm audible, na? Susankha?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Okay. So it's a great honor for me to come here on the platform of Research Council of North Lakhimpur College Autonomous, and it's really my privilege that I was also working in the same district just 3 months back, and I have shifted now to Koliyawar College. So first of all, I'd like to give my heartiest respect to the Honorable Principal Dr. Biman Chandra Setia sir. Under his effort, we could arrange this program, and sir is always very much active whenever Assam College Library Institution is approaching sir with any request. He is very much welcome to us, sir. I really thank you to you. Also, I'd like to not wasting much time. I would like to just give my honor to Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, Dr. P.K. Deka sir, and all the members and all the participants sitting here. And I'll just start with my presentation. So I will be talking about some of the things like Swayam. Then I will be talking about Swayam Prabha. Then I will be talking about National Digital Library of India. And then I will be talking about Enlist. And if I get time, then I'll be talking about on open access resources and then Google Classroom if time provides. So now it is a very important situation among us that we are sitting in a lockdown, but the lockdown does not mean that we will stop all our educational activities. We have to think something alternative. So we have alternative, we have lots of facilities, not only from today. It was given just 4 or 5 years back because we have lots of facilities developed by MHRD. MHRD from time to time has issued certain guidelines to the universities, to the institutions that please follow, please use this kind of resources like Swayam Prabha. Now it's our responsibility how we will take up. So without wasting much time, just I will share my screen. So my screen is visible, no?
Yeah.
So this is the website of Swayam Central that is under MHRD. It is a very big project under Government of India, and maximum 9 of the national coordinators has been appointed by MHRD, like AICT, CEC, IGNOU, IIMBM, NCERT, NIOS, NITER, NPTEL, UGC. All these bodies are working together to make this e-learning portal to success one. Why this e-learning portal is now important? Previously, there was also some e-learning platform in India, like we have ETG Pathshala, we can say, but there was no any provision of certification earlier. But now with the Swayam, you can not only learn here, but also you can do certification. And it is very important now because during this last 1 or 2 years, there are lots of the courses has been provided through Swayam platform. And you can do any courses from class 9 to PG level in the Swayam courses. So I will just show some of the all courses here. What are the courses which are available under Swayam? See, there you will get some of the upcoming courses, means which courses are going to come in future. And there are also some of the ongoing courses, but enrollment is closed. So you can go through these options also. These are the upcoming courses. Suppose like a basic courses in number theory. It will be provided by National Program for Technological Enhanced Learning, that is called NPTEL. So exam date is also given 12 weeks. It starts from 19/7/2020. So in this way, you can explore different options here. What courses you need. And one of the major advantages of Swayam is that if you are sitting in a university, or if you are sitting in a college, and if you want to do any courses from other universities, then you can do it. There is a provision because Government of India has already notified in the Gazette notification in the through some circular that your marks will be automatically credited to your particular university. So both the universities should mutually understand. There are some mutual understanding process. So I will be not going detail about all those process, but you can do courses. And see, you can go for school education, you can go for out of school education. Undergraduate courses are maintained by NPTEL, AICT, CEC, IMBA, and postgraduate education is maintained by all these partners, we can say. See, there is a credit transfer, whatever I was talking about. This is already notified here. You can study from here this. See, this is very important for the faculty members, ARPIT courses. This is called Annual Refresher Program in Teaching. Why this is important for the teachers, faculty members, and the academic staff is that because we are doing our refresher course, we have to go somewhere and we have to stay for some 14 or 21 days and we have to do our courses. Now, what the MHRD has done, they have notified through the circular that if you do any ARPIT courses through this OM platform, then it will be equivalent to your particular refresher course which you have attended physically. So this notified is already approved by Government of Assam also now. Even DPI has given the circular to the different colleges, and you can go this option because I have already done my refresher course from in library and information science last year, and there's just thing is that you have to sit in a proctored examination. Proctored examination means that it is an examination conducted under National Testing Agency, that is NTA, like NET examination or Delhi University or JNU examinations nowadays, they are conducting through NTA. So similarly, through SWAYAM platform, these examinations will be conducted at the last. Thus, we have to follow the courses. So this was all about National Testing Agency. Then see, there are some courses, SWAYAM courses in regional languages. I think Assamese language is not included till yet, but 8 or 9 languages they have already included here. You see, Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Tamil. These courses are already translated into their local languages. It is not only that we are conducting in English language now. Even if someone is interested to translate the courses of SWAYAM into their own languages, you can conduct to particular SWAYAM or NPTEL. NPTEL has recently invited some applications. I think last date was 15th May, it was closed. And if any of the NPTEL courses want to be translated into vernacular languages, then they may contact to the particular agency like NPTEL. Then I'll talking about this completed courses. This completed courses means the courses which are already now completed, but you can enjoy the learning materials here. Whatever the learning materials are available, you can enjoy from here. Subject wise, if you want any subject, you can explore these options. I'll not go in detail because it's very easy. If you go particularly, then you will able to explore more. Then most important thing is that let's COVID-19. See, the SWAYAM has especially categorized these resources for COVID-19 period. And this is the platform we have to understand now. See, they are in a single portal, in a single platform, they have categorized all the resources. If you want to access engineering resources, then you go to this option. But if you are from non-engineering background, then you have to go to this option. And basically for colleges, we are providing some non-engineering courses in several colleges. So it's better to go to this option. See, here you will get the learning materials in the PG courses, and as well as you will get the learning materials in the undergraduate courses. You go and explore any of these options. Suppose I want some courses, I want some learning materials on suppose television journal or differential calculus, for example. Then you select the module, which module you want. Suppose I need a module on function. This data is not available. I'll take some another course. See, fundamental inequalities under functional analysis. See, this is the self-learning. Self-learning means video is available. You can play this video and you can learn by yourself. Similarly, whatever has been telecasted in the video, that will be So I will not go detail, just you can play by yourself. And this is the e-text, means whatever has been taught in the video, you will find in the form of e-text. You can also explore in the form of PDF files. So this is all about basically about I am talking about SWAYAM now. And what is important that it is advisable you just register in the SWAYAM platform. Whenever you are going to explore any courses, you just register yourself. There is two different ways of registration. First of all, you have to register for the SWAYAM. Using your Google account, that is Gmail account, you can directly register in the SWAYAM. Second thing is that you have to enroll for the course. Means registration in the SWAYAM does not mean that you are enrolling in the course. Just registration means that you have registered for the SWAYAM, but if you want to explore any courses, then you have to enroll for that particular course under your registration. When you register, then you will be going to your profile and then you will getting the upcoming courses which are coming and then you enroll yourself. And for this, we have also made some videos. You can enjoy it. So I will be moving to next part because it will take more time. This is called Swayam Prabha. Now see the word Swayam and Swayam Prabha, it's sometimes someone may be confused that these are the same thing, but this is not so. Swayam is a platform of e-learning with the provision of certification. But Swayam Prabha is a group of 32 DTH channel. That means you can sit at your home and you can enjoy the educational videos through the television set. Right now, this television educational videos is available in DD Disc and Dish TV is available. But right now, you will not find this option in Tata Sky and Airtel TV. But if you have Dish TV or DD Disc at your home, then you can enjoy the channels of Swayam Prabha. And the website is maintained by InfluMnet Center. Suppose if you want to explore the different videos which is already been telecasted in the television, now you can go to this Swayam Prabha website and you can explore the videos. And in this website, in this portal, Swayam Prabha, you will get the information that which program is going to be telecasted. A program is of 4 hours which is telecasted 5 times in a day. 4 ঘন্টা কানে program থাকে 5 ঘন্টা লৈ চলি থাকে 5 times চলি থাকে এটো. And every discipline has its own channel. Channel number 1, channel number 2, channel number 3, 32 channels ase. There are 32 channels. Then you can go to these channels, and most of the information you will find from this website, from this portal, Swayam Prabha, maintained by InfluMnet Center. So this portal is now not opening, so I could not show now rightly. I'll move to the next part. NDL. This is National Digital Library. This is again a very big project of MHRD maintained by IIT Kharagpur. Here you will find ebooks, journals, different kind of learning materials, even question papers, and then you can explore your own. See, during this COVID situation, they have also categorized their services very specially. If you are an undergraduate engineering students, you can explore this option. You can go for undergraduate science option. You can go for undergraduate other discipline option. If you are a school student, then also you can go for these options. And see what they have given the advice that it is advisable for the students to register first. It's without registration also you can access it, but you can, if you register, then you will get more facilities. Suppose some of the resources may not be accessible to you for the guest user. So for that, you just register in the NDL platform. And see, one of the important recent changes in the NDL is that, see, you can customize your languages. If you want in Assamese language, then you can customize this entire platform to Assamese language now. And you can then browse the collections as per your convenience. See, during this COVID situation, they have also categorized their services very specially. If you go to these options, you can explore the different resources available in the NDL platform. And see, there is an option of registration. If you are a new user, you go to the register option here and you fill up this information. Once you fill up this information and you save it, then an activation link will be sent to your mail. An activation link will be sent to your mail, and then you just activate your registration. Once you activate your registration, then you can log in directly with this your account. Suppose I will show my account. Now see, I am logging as Virendra Pal now. This is my account. And also there is a special advisory from National Digital Library that if you are an institutional members, then institution should appoint a nodal officer first. Nodal officer, what he will do, he will collect the name and email ID of the students, and then he will send directly to the NDL platform, NDL persons. What NDL will do, they will create an account and they will send back the registration to the particular users. What will be the benefit of this? Users will able to get more access, because some of the publishers like Skyfinders, Elsevier's, they may not give access to the resources whatever available in the NDL for the general users. General users may be also the registration users also. So in that case, if you are going for an institutional member, then you will get more facilities. Then this is the learning resource type. Learning resource type means question papers, web course, whatever the different types of documents is available, you will find here. And this is the subject domain. Subject domain means language, technology, history, philosophy, means this is the classification of the subjects, social science, arts, humanities. In this way you can explore. And you can take the help of your librarian, because it is basically based on the Dewey Decimal Classification System of library science. So this is all about National Digital Library of India, and they have given this much of item is already hosted in the NDL platform now. Now it's our responsibility, because resources are available. Now we have to know how to export, because the problem is that in the library you will get books, you can see physically, but in the online platform, if you don't know how to access, if you don't know where to go, then these resources may not be accessible to you. So sometimes it may be very difficult for you. So in that way, you have to understand the techniques. You have to understand. You have to be aware about the techniques. You have to be aware about the resources what are available in the online platform. Now I'll be moving to the next part. EPG Pathshala. I will show EPG Pathshala also. This is also a project maintained by InfluVNet. InfluVNet is doing a very great job for the academic community of India, and they are maintaining this EPG Pathshala. If you are a student, you can explore this option, Student Corner, and you can get the different learning materials under these options. Suppose if you are a computer science student, then you just select your module, and then you will get this video, self-learning video, then e-text, whatever I have shown in the SWAYAM, the same similar kind of environment you will get it here. I will not play the video. You can explore EPG Pathshala also. Then I will show the very important part, the weapons which is already available in the colleges, I can say, because most of the colleges of Assam has already subscribed these resources and list, National Library and Information Service Infrastructure for Scholarly Content, and it is under eSoth Sindhu. It is a college component of eSoth Sindhu, and where you will get more than 31 lakhs ebooks. 31 lakhs ebooks we can't imagine, and more than 6,000 plus e-journals, and most of these resources are of very high value. So what is the what students or what faculty members can do? They may request their concerned library staff, their librarian, or any person who is handling the enlist in their college. They will submit their name, they will submit the email ID. Then what the library or librarian will do, he will create an account for him online. After creating an account, a activation link will be sent to the particular user. And what the user will do, he will activate his account first. After activation of his account, he will go to this option, member login option. And this is the option where the user has to log in. A video is already made by me in the internet, it is available in our channel, official channel of ICT Cell. You can explore this about ENLIST. See, there are different publishers of the world, reputed publishers, I want to say. E-journals, annual reviews, economic and political weekly. These are the e-journals. And these are the publishers which are under ENLIST. Cambridge, IBRI, EBSCO. Suppose you want any books. Suppose I want a book on thermodynamics, suppose. Thermodynamics, and then you search it. It will give you the books which are available in the thermodynamics. Then you click it, and then you can go to this option, click view. And very important part of this, there are three kind of things we have to understand here. Without downloading the entire book, you can read it online, first of all. Then you can download the entire book also. And you can also download chapter-wise book. Suppose I need the chapter 1 only and I did not need any other chapter. That in that case, you can download the chapter. Now, why it is important? Sometimes a college may give an access of 80 downloads only. Means suppose Lakhimpur College can download this book for 80 times. Then you can go particularly for this download book chapter-wise option, because some other users may get access to this. Because there are lots of the students may be available. So download chapter-wise, it is the better if you go whatever you require. And if you go for this download book option, then they will ask for you a Adobe ID. Now, what is an Adobe ID? It is something like while we are creating Gmail account. Similarly, you can create your Adobe ID account. Once you create your Adobe ID and you install the Adobe ID app, then you can access the entire book in your smartphones. For this, I have already made a video for Adobe ID, and for better experience, you please contact your concerned librarian. This was all about ENLIST. One thing again I want to show just regarding ENLIST. See, there is an option called frequently asked questions. Now, if you have any doubt regarding ENLIST, if you want to know more about ENLIST, then you can go to this frequently asked question. There are some predefined answers. And another thing is that license and fair use. It is very important from the user point of view, because we are accessing, but we don't have the right. In our library, we are bringing the books, but copyright is not with us. Similarly, in the case of ebooks and e-journals, users have to know how to use it. They cannot systematic download using some commercial software. They can use only for the academic purpose. There should be fair use of these resources. If the user is violating the norms of the license agreement, then that user may be blocked, or maybe the entire institution may be blocked. So users have to know regarding this license agreement and fair use. What we have to do and what we have not to do, this is already mentioned here. So users, whenever we are creating account, we have to get them aware about these resources. Otherwise, that user may be blocked, or if the crime is more crucial, then that entire institution may be blocked. And see, in Assam, how many members are here? You can find it from here. Not only Assam, but all over India. Total colleges in India have 3,394, will be this much. And if you see in Assam state-wise colleges, then 129 colleges are already using this ENLIST facility. And some of the colleges has been pending for the renewal. 129 is now active on the ENLIST portal. I don't want to figure out any single college here, just this is for the information. Then I will show some of the open access resources. Open access resources means the resources which are freely available in the internet. That does not mean that it is free, that it is of low value, but it is free only because of the license agreement. It is free. There are some websites I will show you. DOAJ, which is called Directory of Open Access Journal. In this directory, you will get the entire open access journals available in the world in a single platform. Whatever the journals are available in the entire world, you will get in this single platform. This is a directory of the open access journal. You can browse according to your subject wise, language wise. Then I will show another resources called DOAB. This is called Directory of Open Access Books. Similarly, whatever the open access books platforms are available in the world, you will get in the single platform. This is a directory. Directory means, suppose in Assam there are 5 colleges. If you want to explore this within a single window, then you have to come to a particular portal. Suppose in Google, Google is a kind of directory. Google is giving the exploration of all the resources available in the internet. Similarly, this is the directory of books, open books, which are available in the internet. So basically, I will be talking about these two resources, and due to some time constraint, we cannot show too much. There are lots of resources, and we have also given access to these resources through our videos. You watch our videos. Most of the videos are very informative. We are getting a very good hits. So our motto is only to help our learners in the period of this lockdown. You explore these resources, definitely it is going to help you. And I'm very sorry that I could not show you right now this Google Classroom, but any of the participants is interested, my video is already uploaded in the in my ICT Cell YouTube channel. You can go to this particular ICT Cell YouTube channel of ACLA, and the Google Classroom option step by step I have shown. This is the 20 minutes video, and if you follow my video of Google Classroom 20 minutes, you can create your own Google Classroom. So with this, I would like to hand over my mic to Dr. Susankha Gogoi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Virendra, for presenting us a very informative presentation on e-resources. I hope all our participants got benefited. I'm personally got benefited because I have a very limited knowledge about the available e-resources, more particularly about, you talked about certain open access resources, because generally we have been known about this and least and LibZen, book.org kind of websites where we can download books. So these DOAZ, DOAB kind of websites, open access resources are quite new to us. So we got benefited from your presentation. Thank you very much once again. And now the webinar is open for discussion. If the participants have any questions, they can put their questions in the chat, or they can also wave their hands in the provision given. Let me take the liberty of starting this conversation from my side only. I have a question. I don't know whether you can consider it as a question or not. Our college has been using this digital library. Probably our librarian is also available, so would also tell. We have been using this digital library, and in digital library, we sometimes we think of uploading certain pages of textbooks. So there must be an issue regarding this copyright. Whenever we try to upload some books as an e-format in the digital library, it covers certain copyright issues. Now, what do you suggest from both of the resource persons? I want to know, like, other than this digital library, what other software or web portals that can use for uploading books where we will not be trapped under this copyright prism?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We are audible. Yeah.
Yeah. Just let me give you some idea on this. So as you have mentioned that you are digitizing the book, then you are trying to upload in the digital library, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is gross violation of the copyright. As per the Copyright Act, unless the copyright is over, you cannot upload anything. Any document in your library which is copyright is removed after the death of the author, 60 years after the death of the author, then only copyright is removed. Okay. So I think those rarest books which are available in the library, that book can be uploaded there. But other than that, latest book, etc., you cannot upload it. And what you have to do, upload in the digital library, that your creativity of your colleges, suppose your own paper, which is free from any right. You have not given any right to any publishing houses, etc. Or the school magazines, which is published in the school, or teachers magazine, or any publication for the NAAC purpose, you are publishing it published by your college or your research council cell, etc. So that is certainly free from the copyright. So that can be given uploaded in this. And in that case, side by side, simultaneously, you can prepare one IR also. IR is institutional repositories. So if you are having institutional repositories, so you can upload everything. And later on, you connect it with the digital library, then there will be no problem. But already copyright protected or IPR protected literatures or items, you cannot do it. So only solution for you is that your own publication, even your wall magazines, you can take the photograph, you can rewrite the poems or the essays, whatever it is, and you can upload in that, because it is your own creation. That is the solution. Now let us see from the Virendra Pal also what he says.
Thank you, sir. Sir is already right. Sir, whatever has told, it is already 100% correct. And see, in our library, we don't have the authority to digitize the entire book. This is very clear, because otherwise every college may have digitized the entire book. Because it is not possible, because the copyright is with the publishers. And we should not do that also, because it is not right, because there are some concern of intellectual property right also. And also I want to share something about digital library, that digital library means you need some standard. Suppose Lakhimpur colleges cannot make available all the resources alone. Now what National Digital Library they have done, they have not digitized any resources by their own. They have collected the metadata, they have collected the link, they have collected the resources from the different types of libraries of India through some standard protocol. And what they are doing, they are giving the access from the single platform. When we are accessing the resources from NList, we are not, National Digital Library, we are not accessing the resources from NDL directly. We are accessing the resources from that particular institute. Suppose it is a Jadavpur University resource, then we are going particularly to the server of Jadavpur University. Now, why it is possible? Because Jadavpur University has follow certain standard protocol. In digital library, there are some standard protocol that we call OAI PMS, Open Archives Initiative for Metadata Harvesting. This protocol is very much important for digital library. Then only we can solve these issues, because we cannot make available all the resources alone. And this is the concept of resource sharing in our libraries. So with this, I just conclude my remarks.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Singh sir and Dr. Virendra. Now, is there any question by the participants? They can give it in the chat. There is a question by one of our colleague from Department of History, Jutika Patil. She wanted to know from Dr. Virendra. She's asking, okay, since we can get the resources from the links that has been mentioned by you free of cost, is it possible to publish our article through this link? Like, can we make our already published articles available online through the links that you have given?
No, I think not, because these are the platform of e-learning platform. Swayam Prabha and National Digital Library, they are giving the services. They are not the publishers. If you want to publish your article, then you have to connect it with the concerned publishers, because publishers have their own policies. And Infinet is not publishing any article. So MHRD is not publishing any article. But if you want to add content to Swayam, then you can make a group, because there are certain guidelines in Swayam. Article is not only sufficient, you can also make videos also, educational videos, and you contact with the Swayam concerned. If you want to make courses in undergraduate, then you go for CEC courses. If you are in postgraduate, then you go for the UGC courses. Similarly, if you are from the engineering, then you go for the NPTEL courses. They have their own guideline. If you want to develop your MOOCs course, then you have to follow this guideline. If you want to write article, then you have to follow the publisher's guideline. So that's all.
Okay. I hope Jutika Patil has got the answer from you. There is another question from Bhaskar Pegu.
Yeah, I got it. A refresher course for faculty, Bhaskar. Yes, it's very important, because ARPIT annual refresher program in teaching. This courses is already started from the 2 years back, and this list is coming during the month of September. Only once a time they are publishing the list during the September, and during the February or March they are conducting their examination. One examination for this year has already been completed for ARPIT, and second, still due to this COVID situation, they cannot conduct. But if you wait for the updates, you go to the ARPIT website and you will get this. ARPIT is a part of NASWAYAM, Annual Refresher Program in Teaching. So this course is equivalent to your physical refresher courses. Just you attend these courses, it will take more than I think 84 days. Just you attend this online videos, they will post some videos, they will give some assignments, and last conditions is that you have to attend the proctored examination. Then they will give you the certificate. That certificate is fully equivalent to your regular courses. Thank you.
Okay. I hope Dr. Bhaskar Pegu has got the answer from Dr. Virendra. Okay, there is another question. Virendra, can you see it?
Copyright 75 years. Okay, this will be taken by Sanjay Kumar Singh, sir. Copyright 75 years after the death of the author. Asking by Rajendra Mohan Dev Sharma.
75? No,
I think
I as far as I know, it is 60 years. Earlier it
Yes,
was 50 years, now it's 60 years. 70,
Yes,
if any new information is there, just send me also so that I can also learn. But as far as I know, that it is 60 years after the date of the author. Okay? And if authentic source, because see, on the online, as we are depending upon the online resources, so everything is not correct in the online. Authenticity is one of the most important problems. If you're taking from the blog or if you're taking from any of the site which is not authentic site, so you cannot rely upon that whatever I am getting from the downloading from the website is correct. So maybe 75, I don't know, but as far as I know, it is 60 years. And if it is so, then please inform me also from which source you have taken and what is the document. Okay, earlier it was 50 years, now it is 60 years.
60 years. I also know about 60 years only, sir.
Yeah, 60 years is there, but maybe
Maybe
policy
some
is changing.
updation,
No?
maybe changes.
When
Yeah.
Article 370 can change, then why not that can be changed? So it is up to the policymakers. So we are not directly ignoring it or not rejecting it. We will verify that. But I request the person who has asked the question to supply this information to us also, if it is 75 years.
Okay, is there any questions? Any more questions?
Okay, we are available in the group also, WhatsApp group. If anyone is having question, they can contact with us. And because see, most of the questions may not come in your mind right now. But if you need any kind of help, we are always here. Assam College Library and Association, even Department of Library Information Science, Guwahati University. So you can contact whenever you need any kind of information support.
Yeah, there is a question, Virendra. There is a question from B. Narjari.
Okay.
He's asking, is there any platform tackling the online learning for our regional level?
Yes, in the field of higher education or in the field of school education.
Yes, Narjari. Can you reply? Which level you are talking about?
So I'll be just talking about the higher education platform.
Okay.
See, basically, higher education, we don't have any kind of this kind of policy right now. Now it is the high time for us to make some policies of our own content, because now content whatever we are getting, we are from the MHRD now. Now what about our content? So in this way, we have to get more awareness regarding these MOOCs courses. We have to develop our own MOOCs courses. There are some kinds of guidelines, some kinds of quadrants. Even some of the colleges I have seen in Assam, they have already started to develop some MOOCs courses. So we can also develop these MOOCs courses, and we can give access to SWAYAM platform, because SWAYAM is the unified platform of Government of India, through which every courses of India will be available through a single platform. I think it is okay.
Yeah, he got your answer. Is there any other?
Susanka sir, I have a question.
Yeah, ask me.
Virendra sir.
Okay.
North Limbu College Digital Library, we are maintaining it more as an institutional library, institutional repository, where we upload the intellectual output of our college.
Okay.
That includes the all college magazines, MRP project report, thesis, college publications, and question papers for a student. Recently, we have uploaded around 8 numbers of manuscript in our institutional repository. So is it okay? Can we upload it?
Yeah, if you are institutional repository and if you have taken the permission from that particular manuscript holder, because manuscripts is also having some kind of copyright, the person who has written this. So if you have taken the permission from him, then you can upload it. Otherwise, you cannot upload it.
We have taken the permission.
Yes, then no problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I think it is okay, Susanka. We will take some questions other time.
Okay. So I think it's time to wind up.
Yes.
So I would like to take the opportunity to provide my vote of thanks now. Firstly, I would like to thank our Honorable Principal, Dr. Biman Chandra Setia sir, for agreeing on the proposal for organizing a webinar on a very pertinent issue today, because we all are under this lockdown and because of this epidemic situation, our learning should not be stopped. So I thank him personally for taking the time to give the welcome address and to inaugurate this webinar. Then I would like to thank the General Secretary, Assam College Libraries Association, Dr. Prashant Kumar Deka sir, for his, very insightful welcome address to the participants, and for also taking the initiative for agreeing on organizing a webinar together with ECLA ICT. I would like to thank two honorable resource persons of today's webinar, Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh sir and Dr. Birendra Pal. Both of them has enlightened us on different aspects of online e-resources. And we have been enlightened on different aspects of online e-resources, not only the conventional one that we understand, we know. We got benefited from both of you, and a new insight have been developed from us. So we are really thankful to both of you, and despite of your busy schedule, we have managed time for us and educate and enlighten us on this issue. I would also like to thank all our esteemed participants, not only from our institution, but also from other parts of Assam and also in Northeast, my dear student friends. And at last, I would like to wind up this webinar by quoting what it has been said by Benjamin Franklin. He once said that, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn." So we hope that with this pandemic situation, we will involve ourselves in this learning, online learning, with the initiatives taken by MHRD and the other web resources available, and let us not stop by COVID-19 in the learning process. So with this positive note, I would like to wind up and thank once again all the participants, panelists, and the honorable members of ECLA and ICT for successfully organizing this webinar. With this, I wind up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So it was a great honor for us to be involved with all of you. And also, this is not the end. This is the starting with North Lakhimpur College. So if you have any kind of other opportunities, you can share with us. CLA is always there to join in the academic affairs. So with this, I'd like to thank on behalf of SLA to everyone, and especially North Lakhimpur College Research Council. And it's a great honor for us. With this, I would like to conclude this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.